Yes, I was hard on the HP Reverb G2, but I don't apologize and my standards are only going to rise moving into 2021. Glad many of you feel the same way. Any jokes made in this video are for fun and lighthearted jabs, so enjoy one of my most fun creations to make, the HP Reverb G2 God tier. Okay, bye.
In a world where top-end virtual reality is still $1,000, where the value of an Oculus headset is borderline the only option for many, and this leaves every mid-tier headset to try and sell itself to be more valuable than the Oculus Quest 2, which is yet to happen to most. Well, something has come out of hibernation. Some say abomination, a Frankenstein of a headset. And while some were so preoccupied with whether they could afford it, they did not stop to think if they should have to do this. And so is the anime origin story of Frankenstein's HP Reverb G2.
Obviously, this is a video showing how the HP Reverb G2 performs while using the Valve Index controllers and my personal experience with it, and while setup isn't hard, it's a journey of numerous expensive hardware, but thankfully I had it all, so either enthusiasts are ready or the money spent needs to be worth it to you. Enjoy. Here's all the things you'll need for the hardware. You're gonna, of course, need the HP Reverb G2. You also need base stations, which can be either the 1.0 or 2.0. I have tested both. You'll need your pair of index controllers, and then you have a few options of what you'll use as a receiver. Here are many of them, and the setup is similar with each. There are Steam controllers with Steam USB dongles, you could use Vive trackers, and there are plenty of pre-flash dongles out there. Tundra Labs is one that I've used, or for my old school VR enthusiast and what I used, an HTC Vive. Yes, you heard that right, I'm putting the HTC Vive back to work. Here is how I got it all set up, but not without a huge thank you to VR Gamer Dude for spending some time on the phone with me helping me walk through this, so full credit goes to him. His info will be in the video description. Now, like I said, what you're doing really is using something as a receiver, that way you can pair your index controllers to it, since of course you can't pair them directly to the HP Reverb G2, and you have a lot of options, all the dongles in the world, the Vive trackers, but I am very thankful that I had my old HTC Vive lying around, and I'm going to reanimate its husk of a corpse here. This headset is what originally made me so avid about VR, it's what got me into it, and I couldn't be happier to at least repurpose this with this Frankenverb headset. Of course though, we gotta get it set up first fully as if you were gonna use it. After an unreasonable amount of time trying to find all the wires for this, once the HTC Vive is set up for me, I simply turned it on and connected my index controllers in Steam VR, and after that, just unplugged the HDMI only for the Vive, leaving everything else plugged in. Once those steps were completed, I was able to exit Steam VR fully, and of course, the next step is to set up your HP Reverb G2 fully, and of course, once it's set up, turn on your index controllers. Now, when you do this, you'll notice that the index controllers, they do connect to your base stations, but they won't show up in the HP Reverb G2, and that's what some amazing software comes into play. Now, the next step is, of course, to download some amazing pieces of software. Now, I say software plural because I do see some people using OpenVR advanced settings, and while I didn't happen to have to use that for this, it is one amazing piece of software that I think everyone who uses Steam VR should have anyway, so I'll link that in the video description. But OpenVR Space Calibrator, that amazing piece of software is what's going to make all this happen, and I'll link the GitHub file for that in the video description as well. So of course I hop into the HP Reverb G2, and I could just go through the desktop and hit Windows Mixed Reality for Steam, but here's a way to get onto your desktop through the Windows Mixed Reality portal, and then of course going to that app. This is just another way to get there. I talked about in my review video, showed the other way, so here is this way to get to your Steam homepage. Once I was in Steam VR, I opened up the menu, and down at the bottom you'll see any overlays you have, and of course you want to go to the OpenVR Space Calibrator. Here you should see your HP Reverb G2 along with both controllers listed on the left side. It means you're on the right track if you see this. At this point, I turned on both my index controllers, and while they will have no functionality, you will see them in the Steam VR overlay. You can see here on the right side, the index controllers are now listed as well. You also only have to calibrate a single controller. Once you do that one, the other one will automatically calibrate. For my calibration, I chose my right. Now I made sure to choose the right index controller in this panel as well as the right HP Reverb G2 controller, and you can hit the identify button, which will send vibrations through both so you know you have the right selected. Once at this stage you are almost done. Basically at this point I would recommend to copy your chaperone to increase the reliability of this working, and at that point you're going to take your index controller and superimpose it on top of your HP Reverb G2 controller, making sure the buttons match up. And finally, hit the calibrate button while you hold them in this position, and I found that doing figure 8s during the calibration phase did lead to better tracking overall. Once complete, turn off the HP Reverb G2 controllers, possibly give it a second or two, and your index controller should now be fully tracking, and there you go, index controllers with the HP Reverb G2. It is undeniably amazing. Now of course I had to test it out, and I used Population 1 to test it by doing a lot of very quick movements, a lot of quick building, a lot of quick scoping, and having a lot of fun. But before we get into showing that, if you're interested, quick disclaimer, I understand that the HP Reverb G2 along with index controllers is not for anyone other than hardcore parkour VR enthusiasts and those who may already have the equipment. Otherwise, does the cost matter? I think it costs too much to do that all just for the sake of having it. But if you are a hardcore VR enthusiast and or you already have the equipment, by making this combo, it is going to replace my index as a daily driver and is god tier consumer VR to me currently. Now yes, with the index I am losing some field of view, although with the HP Reverb G2 there are apparently some hacks to kind of up the field of view as well by changing the gaskets and the faceplate. And I am a little sensitive to the 144 Hz to 90 Hz differential. However, the resolution and clarity of the HP Reverb G2 feels next gen, and when you combine that with the index controllers, it is a truly feeling next generation headset where the visuals are as clear enough to almost be like looking at it through the naked eye, no screen door. It's amazing. I can see from one end of the map to the other end of the map in Population 1 movement. That's insane and gives me a huge leg up on a lot of players in that game. It's an amazing experience, and here is a little bit of footage from that so you can see me testing different movements. Look, I'm not going to play by play, but you can see here at the beginning, I really wanted to focus on quick building. I really wanted to see just how smooth it was, if we're losing frames, if for some reason there's any jitteriness or tracking issues, and there wasn't. It was flawless. It was a fantastic experience. Flying has never felt better. You'll see some clips of me sniping has never felt better. In fact, the overall experience is just better. To me, this is the ultimate way to play VR right now if you can swing it in one way or another. The HP Reverb G2 along with the index controllers. I do not think I can go back to anything else after this. It was an amazing experience. I've said that a few times, but I think you get my point. That's going to be it for today's video though. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe and hit that bell icon, that way you never miss an upload. And as always, I'll see you next time, Space Cowboys.